Alright, so this is going to be part 3 of the build series. This will be the final assembly of the StevensAero WaterBoard. Throw those gaskets aside. So everything's been assembled. Now we're going to work our way at painting and sealing the entire thing. Some pieces came out really nice. Some of the other stuff I had a hard time getting 100% smooth. Not going to worry about it. I'm assuming this is going to get repainted and resealed a few times. Scratches and dents, it's I guess inevitable. Alright, so I've already pre-sealed the inside of the hatches. The outside here we're going to paint and seal afterwards. So you can see here I did a little bit of the wood putty, tried to smooth out some edges as much as I could anyways. The bottom's a nice one piece, so that's immaculate. Alright, so what I ended up using is a Krylon I guess chrome. Hindsight's 2020. If I would have had to redo this, I probably wouldn't have chose something I guess so reflective, because it does it does nothing to mask the imperfections in the boat. If anything, it enhances them. But as most of my projects, not always pretty, but they function. Alright, so I'll be using Mod Podge to seal the entire boat. As you can tell, bottom looks great. Top, you can see a lot of the imperfections because of that paint. But all in all, it'll serve the purpose. Alright, the rudder and the hatch. Alright, so with the Mod Podge, I'm going to lay it on nice and thin. Put numerous layers of it, but once we're done, this stuff is crystal clear. Shouldn't even be able to tell there's anything on it. Alright, nice smooth finish. And as you can tell on the bottom of the boat, it's already starting to dry in the corners. Doesn't take long. Just cover all our other pieces. And once this is all done, I'm going to be going in with a thin layer of a acrylic sealer. Spray. This is going to be the majority of the sealant here. It builds on itself. It's quite thick. Alright, so we'll leave our parts here to dry. Alright, so everything's done. Let's start on the assembly here. So I'm going to feed the motor leads through, line up the motor, and with 4 of the included screws, you can secure that to the motor assembly. Alright. Finish it off with 2 more on the opposite side. And we are nice and secure. Alright, so onto the servo. Push that through, 2 screws. And that's secure. With all our leads hanging through the bottom. Alright, so here I almost forgot to install the gasket before we start connecting everything up. Alright, so now onto the ESC. Push the servo leads through. And now there's going to be 7 screws all the way around the hatch to, or not the hatch, but the motor assembly to hold that together. Alright, make sure everything's nice and snug, and then we'll finish that up off camera. Alright, so now to the hatch. So we're going to install the gasket on the boat this time. And I'm just going to dry fit that hatch, make sure it seals. Alright, so we're good. We'll come back to that after. So now onto the rudder. So I'm going to install the rudder post, and then we have rubber grommets that's going to hold everything in place. Put the rudder back on, same thing on the top. Drop some parts again. Alright, so this is the mechanism that's going to lock the hatch. So it's like a little tri-leg piece. Install the screw. Alright, we're good to go. So I'm just using that as a guide now. Ultimately, once everything is set, you're going to be able to twist on and off. That's what's going to keep it locked in place. Might need to do a little bit of sanding to get everything to fit nice and smooth, but that's the assembly. Now onto the rudder. So I'm going to install the servo arm. Do a little Z-bend in the end of the control wire. And it's easier if you take the servo arm off first and then reinstall. Alright, so we're done there. Just have to connect everything up to the receiver piece. So throttle to throttle, and servo's going to the aileron. I didn't have a bind plug, so I made my own here. So you're just going to ground out the 2 outside pins. Power, and you're ready to bind. Alright, so motor works. Oh, twitched a little bit on the rudder, but we're fine here. And we're all done. So there's the StevensAero board, or StevensAero WaterBoard, or airboard. What am I talking about? WaterBoard. All done and complete. Unfortunately, again, like I said, the paint doesn't do it justice. It's very smooth. I was surprised how much the Mod Podge filled all those gaps. So to the feel, very smooth. But given that the color of the reflection of that paint, it's making all the imperfections underneath the Mod Podge shine through. So for now, I'm going to run it as is. Probably end up painting it, doing another layer of that Mod Podge. And that way everything will look 100%. But all in all, pretty simple build. Had fun. This was the first ever that I've been working with balsa. So I'm happy with the project. Guys, thanks for watching. Please thumbs up and subscribe.